Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve one problem on bars. Okay, so what are bars? Actually, bar is a building material. So it is usually made of steel. Okay, it supports the loads in tension as well as in compression. So it's a one-dimensional element. So which is having a 1 degree of freedom. So bars can be of any cross section. So the cross sections like rectangular bar, it may be a square bar, it may be of I section. Okay, so it may be of any cross sections. So in today's session, so we will cover a problem on a stepped bar. So you can see it has three different cross sections. So in the first element, so that is, it is having a area of 900 millimeter square and 80 millimeter length, and the second cross section we have 400 millimeter square area and 90 length, and the third element we have 70 millimeter length and 200 millimeter square area. So we will see how to solve this stepped bar problem using FEMAP software. So firstly, so we'll open this FEMAP software. So if it is the screen is not showing, you can go to file and click on new. Okay, if you click on new, a new file will be opened. Okay, so as soon as you open the software, you have to first create the geometry. So how to create the geometry? So in order to create the geometry, you have to go to this geometry option. In this, go to curve line and click on project points. So first, so we have to see, so what are all the different points, so at what distance the different points are there. So we usually call that as nodes. Okay, so we need to define the nodes and at what distance the nodes are there. So in order to check that, so you can see in this diagram, so we will define from the left side, we will take the origin as this one. Okay, so x is 0 0 here, this one we will take as the origin, and for this first element we have two nodes, that is node 1 to the left side, left corner, and node 2 to the right corner. The first element will define two nodes, node 1 and node 2. Similarly, for second element, again we'll define two nodes, that is node 3 and node 4, and for third element we'll define another two nodes, that is node 5 and node 6. So if you see this diagram, node 1 is at the origin. So what is this distance? It is 0 0. So we'll take it as 0 0. And what about node 2? Node 2, it is at a distance of 80 millimeter. So x is 80, y is 0, and obviously z is also 0. So where is the node 3 now? Node 2 and node 3 are at a same point, right? So for node 3 also we will enter x as 80 only. So coming to node 4. For node 4, so what is the x distance? You need to add this 80 and 90. Okay, so what is the node 4? The distance of node 4 is 170 millimeter. And again, coming to third element, node 5 is at the same point where the node 4 is, correct? So for node 5 also we will enter x as 170, that is 80 plus 90. And again, the last node is node 6. So to take the distance of node 6 from the origin, you need to add 80 90 and 170 So what is the total length of node 6 from the origin? It is 240 So these things we need to enter. So how to enter? We'll check in the software. So first we need to create the origin. Okay, what is the dimension? 0 0 0. So it is already entered here. So click OK. So as soon as you click OK, it will ask for second node. Okay, as soon as you click OK, it will ask for, okay, we need to enter the dimension. Go to geometry, curve line, project points. This is the origin. Okay, so then what is the second node distance? It is x is 80, y is 0 and z is 0, and click on OK. And again, what is node 3? As I told, node 2 and node 3 are at a same point, so no need to change the dimension. So x is 80 only. Click OK. So now node 4. So what is node 4? The distance of node 4 is 170 millimeter, correct. So change this length x length as 170, y is 0 and z is 0. Click OK. So now after node 5, you know that node 4 and node 5 are at the same point. So in order to create node 5, so no need to change the dimension because node 4 and 5 are at the same point. So node 5 is also 170, y is 0 and z is 0. Click on OK. And so what is the last node? Node 6. So what is the distance of that node 6? 80 plus 90 plus 70. So that is 240 mm. So change this x value to 240, y is 0, z is 0. Click on OK. Okay, so all the nodes are created. Is there, do we have node 7? No. So click cancel. Okay, so the geometry is created. So after the geometry is created, you have to give the properties to that material. Okay, so you have to give the properties to the element. So we have 3 elements now. So we need to give the Young's modulus and area. We have to define those things to each element. Okay, so how to define? You have to go to model and you have to go to material. Okay, so model and material. So here give the title as the first element, element 1. Element 1. And what is the Young's modulus for element 1? You can see in the diagram, it is given as 70 GPa. Okay, so that gigapascal convert into megapascal. So 70 into 10 power 3 you have to take. So 70, I will take it as 70 E3. Okay, 70 E3. So then Poisson ratio we are taking it as 0.3. So after entering this, click on OK. So material for element 1 is defined. So similarly define for element 2. So ID2 title is element 2. Element 2. So go to the figure. What is the element 2? It is 105 gigapascal. Okay, the Young's modulus is 105 gigapascal. Same thing you enter here, 105 E3, and Poisson ratio the same 0.3 you have to enter and click on OK. And ID3. So we have element 3 also, right? So what is element 3? It is the Young's modulus is 200 GPa. Though enter the same thing, 200 GPa here. And before that, give the title as element 3. It is 200 E3, correct? 200 E3, 200 MPa. It is Poisson ratio as 0.3. Take Poisson ratio as 0.3. Then click OK. So do we have element 4? No, right? So element 4 is not there. So we will skip this step. Cancel. Click on cancel. So after giving the material properties, we have to after defining the Young's modulus and Poisson ratio, we have to give the area. We have to define the area. So how to define that? Again go to model, go to property. Okay, go to property and select the material as element 1. So first we will define the area for element 1. So what is the area for this element 1? It is given as 900 millimeter square. So the same thing I'll enter. So go to, after selecting element 1, go to element property or type, click on bar. Okay, click on bar and OK. So here you will be asked to write the area. So what is the area for that? 900, correct? 900, and click on OK. And again for ID2, give the area for element 2 now. Element 2 is also a bar and click OK. So what is the area for element 2 now? So you can see in this diagram it is 400 millimeter square. So the same thing I am entering here. It is 400 and click on OK. And similarly for element 3. So select element 3, element property or type, bar. OK. So the area is 200 millimeter square. The area is 200 millimeter square. I will enter the same thing here, 200 millimeter square. OK. So after this, do I have element 4? No, right? Only element 3. We have defined 3 elements. So that is, for that you have to click cancel now. So there is no other elements to give the area here. So after defining this, so we need to go to mesh. So go to mesh control, and size along curve. Okay, after clicking this, you have to give select all, and you have to click on OK. So here you have to give number of elements as 1 and click on OK. Next, cancel. So after this, you have to go to mesh again and select the geometry and go to curve. Okay, select geometry and go to curve. So after this, you have to click on the element 1. First we have to select element 1 and then click OK. So here the property you have to select the bar property 1. Okay, for element 1 you have to select bar property 1 and then click OK. So here you have to make all the things 0 except this y. So you have to take y as 1 here. So rest of the things are 0 and click OK. So for one element it is done. Similarly you have to do for other 2 elements. Go to mesh, geometry, curve and select the second element, click OK, then select the property as bar property 2. So next click OK, and here also take y as 1 and rest all 0. OK, and similarly for third element, geometry, curve, select third element, OK, and select the property as bar property 3. OK, and here also 0 and y as 1. OK, so now the meshing is done. So next, after doing this, you have to do the nodes. As you know, the node 2 and node 3 and node 4 and node 5 are at a same point. So you have to make you have to merge the nodes now. So after doing this, before applying the loads, you have to merge the coincident entities. Okay, so how to do that? You have to go to tools and go to check and coincident nodes. Okay, check, you have to select coincident nodes. So here you have to click on select all and then OK. So here you have to select this option, merge coincident entities. So you have to select merge coincident entities and then click on OK. So you can see this, the node 3 and node 2 and node 5 and node 4. So the 2 nodes are merged. Okay, so the nodes are merged now. So after this you have to define the load. So how to define the load? Go to model and constraint. So before we need to give the constraint. If you see the diagram, this left side is fixed here. So this is one constraint. Okay, left side is fixed and the load is applied at 2 points. So one is at node 2, 20 kilonewton is applied, and at node 3 it is 10 kilonewton is applied. Correct. So this node 2 and 3 are at the same point, right? Node 2 and 3, 20 kilonewton is applied, and node 4 and 5, 10 kilonewton is applied. So these things we need to give, and you can see here node 6 is also fixed. So we need to give constraint as fixed for node 1 and 6, and we have to give apply the loads at 2 points. So let's see how to do that. So you have to go to model, go to constraint, nodal, model, go to constraint, nodal. So after doing this, you have to click OK and select the node which is to be constrained. So node 1 and node 6. Correct. These 2 nodes are fixed. Click OK and click on fixed here. As soon as I click on fixed, you can see all degrees are freezed. All degrees of freedom are freezed now. So all the 6 degrees of freedom are fixed. Okay. So then click on OK. So this constraint is applied now. So you can see the symbol here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all degrees of freedom are constrained at node 1. Similarly at node 6 also. So after doing this, we have to apply the load. Go to model, load, nodal. So first, what is the load we need to apply? At node 2 and 3 there is 20 kilonewton. Correct. So go to select this node. Okay, so in which direction it is applied? It is applied in the x direction, correct? So there is no load in the y direction, so it is in x direction. So for that, uncheck Fy and Fz, enter the 20 kilonewton, 20 E3 in x direction, that is in Fx. Okay, so click on OK. So you can see 20,000 Newton is applied at node 2 and 3. So similarly, select node 4 and 5. So what is the load at node 4 and 5? It is 10 kilonewton, correct? So we will apply the 10 kilonewton load in Fx direction. So 10 E3, click OK. So you can see 10 kilonewton is applied now. So is there any load to apply? No. So click on cancel. So this is giving the constraint and applying the load. So after this, we need to analyze the this bar problem. Okay, so how to analyze? Go to model, go to analysis, click on new. So if you click on new, so the analysis program should be NX Nastran. Okay, next this analysis type should be static. Okay, for this bar problem, analysis type should be static. So remember this, you have to select static. So click on OK. So after this, click on analyze. So after if you click on analyze, the results will be loaded here. Okay, the results are loaded. You have to click on load results. So if there is any error in this problem, it will show the errors. Okay, so as there are no errors, it is showing as 0. So next, click on continue. So after this, in order to load the result, you have to, in order to show the results, that is deformation and stress values, you have to click on F5 in your keyboard. Click on F5. In this mode style, you have to select features. Deformed style, you have to select deform, and in this contour style, you have to select beam diagram. So after this, click on deformed and contour data. So here, if you want displacement, you have to select displacement first. Select displacement, and in this deformation, select T1 translation, and contour also select T1 translation. So you can see the value here. You can see the value of deformation, that is 0.0234545. So this is the total deformation in the which we are obtaining. Okay, so similarly, if you want stress, select stress value here, and select bar NDA axial stress, and here also you select bar NDA axial stress. So you will get the maximum and minimum value of stresses here. Okay, so this is how you want to how you are going to calculate the deformation and stress value. So if you, after taking the values, click on OK, and if you want to see the animation of this, you can click here. Okay, so it will show the animated view of this. And if you want to know the deformation at particular node, so how to see that? So earlier we have seen the total deformation. If you want to see the deformation at particular node, you want to go to list, output, and query. So here you have to select the type, what value you want. If you want displacement, select displacement here, and click on node, and click inside this box ID, and click the node on which you want to see the deformation. So I want, if you want the deformation in this node, click on that node and click on more and OK. So you will get the value. Okay, so similarly, if you want to see the stress, go to list, output, query, select stress here, and click on element. Click inside this box and select the element. You can select any element. So if I select this element, click on more and OK. So this is the stress which is developed in that particular element. So this, in this way, you can calculate the deformation and stress in a particular node and a particular element. Okay, so this is about bar problem.